Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good morning. It's a football Thursday.
It is. It is a football Thursday. Coach, were you somehow scoreboard watching yesterday? We know you were busy with practice. Were you keeping an eye or getting some reports on the Eagles game in Miami?
You know, we're pretty focused on what we're doing here. Yesterday was a Wednesday for us, so we were pretty locked in with our meetings and our practice all day long. So that's really where our focus was.
So, Coach, we've always praised you for your consistency. You never seem to get too high or too low. When you're struggling, when things aren't going well, how much do you go outside of that with your approach or what you preach or the way you're doing things? How much do you try to change things up or do you not?
Oh, I think it's important to be consistent. The things that we believe in as a football team, we have conviction about, and we have to reaffirm. And obviously, as a coach, you're always trying to impact and influence and touch players different ways, and hopefully, do different things to help bring the best out in them. But the things that you believe in, the core convictions, they don't change.
The coaching staff and the bigger names are going to get all the heat and all the segments in sports talk radio, but we don't know what you guys have like internally in that locker room. You believe, Coach, you have the right type of guys, work ethic-wise, leadership-wise. You feel confident that you have what it takes to turn this around?
Yeah, absolutely. What we try to do really each and every day is focus on what we need to do to be the best coaches and players and best football team that we can be. And our guys have done an outstanding job of that, and we'll continue to do that. We'll work hard each and every day to hopefully play our best football here on Thursday night against Chicago.
Jason Garrett joins us here at 105 through the Fan. I think a lot of people would think and view this as a better team than 6-6. Why do you think this team is underachieving right now?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is we're just focused on what we need to do to go play our best game against Chicago. Disappointing loss for us on Thanksgiving. We didn't get the job done, and we'll learn from that experience and move forward. We'll build on some of the good stuff. We'll clean up the other stuff and get our eyes forward on Chicago, and that's really where our mindset is. And if you're directly a part of this football team as a player, or a coach, or a staff member, that's how you have to approach it. And we had a good day yesterday. Excited to have a good Thursday today to get ready to play these guys on Thursday night.
What are some of the main areas of focus that you think you need to really clean up in right now?
Yeah, we just got to get better in every phase of our team. We got to play better offensive football, play better on defense, and play better in the kicking game. And we're working hard as a coaching staff to make sure we do that. We're working hard in practice. You play good teams. You have to play sound, fundamental football throughout. You have to play mistake-free. You have to be able to make plays in each of those phases, and we'll keep working on trying to do that better and better. Be a great challenge for us on Thursday against Chicago.
People hear the noise, players, coaches, I'm sure. Do you feel like you're coaching for your job over the next few weeks?
Again, we're just focused on having a great Thursday. That's always been my approach whenever I've been involved in anything as a player or coach in this league, is just come in each and every day and do everything you can to be your best on that day and get better. And that's what we try to do with our football team. That's the mentality that we try to instill in our guys, and we'll continue to do that. We've got to have a great day today.
What has Jerry's public support meant to you?
Again, guys, I hate to keep answering the question the same way. We're focused on today. Any of this stuff outside of our building, we don't think very much about. We just lock in on what we need to do today to practice well. It's a Thursday practice. Had a good day yesterday and got to get back to work today.
Coach, we understand the consistency of the message. I've always said you really have nothing to lose disclosing anything publicly. It doesn't really help you guys at all. But for the sake of the fan base who feels like they're at the end of their rope beyond frustration, can you give the fan base something tangible to give them more hope moving forward versus we just have to focus on today. We have to get better in all phases. Something a little more tangible and real for them to hold on with the hope they have for this team.
Yeah, the best players, the best coaches, the best teams I've been around just do a fantastic job staying locked in on what they need to do each day and each week. They take it one day at a time, and they focus on simply being their best. And hopefully that's tangible enough for people outside of our building. But if you look at the best people really in all walks of life, certainly in our sport, that's what they do. And our game is set up that way. It's one play at a time. And people say, oh, that's a cliche. It's not a cliche. If you've ever played a snap in the National Football League, that's how you have to approach it. The guy across from you is a good player, or else he wouldn't be there. The coaches across the field are good coaches, or they wouldn't be there. So you have to do everything you can to be your best on that play. When you have success on that play, you have to put that one behind you and do everything you can to be your best on the next play. And then it's the next series, it's the next quarter, it's the next half, it's the next game. So if that's not something that is sexy or seems boring to people who are not involved in pro football, I apologize for that. But what we're going to do is focus on what we need to do today, and then once we get to the game on Thursday night, we're going to focus on what we need to do on each play, and that's what the best players, the best teams do. And there are plenty of great examples that we can cite. When we play our best, we do that better than anybody else, and that's what we'll continue to focus on.
Jason Garrett right here on the BuyerSafety.com hotline with Sean and RJ every Monday. Yesterday, you guys brought in some kickers. What was the result of that, Coach? Are you going to stick with Brett Maher moving forward?
Yes, we are.
And what was the reason for bringing in those kickers?
We have workouts a lot. We bring players in for different reasons, and we brought the kickers in. Obviously, Brett's missed some kicks here. He's missed some makeable kicks. He'd be the first one to tell you that he needs to make those kicks. And so you have to see what's out there. We bring different position players in all the time to work out and just kind of see where we are. So we wanted to bring those three guys in. They did a nice job for us, but Brett's going to be our kicker going forward.
What goes into a kicker workout?
They do kicks. They kick field goals. They kick kickoffs. You put them in different situations. You kick different directions. You kick on different hash marks. You do regular timing of their kicks. You do what we call Mayday kicks, where you run them off the sidelines and you put them out there where they have to kick it fast. And so you just try to simulate, what they might see in a game. Now, obviously, there's no offensive line, there's no pass rush, all of that. So it's hard to really simulate it, but you just want to see the guy kick in as many different situations as possible in the confines of that workout environment.
Coach, I want to ask you one thing about the game against Buffalo. The 4th and 1 from your own 19. I absolutely loved it. I was going nuts when it happened. I thought it was great. But what made you decide to go for it there? That's not a play that a coach normally would go for it in that position on the field.
Yeah, obviously you're backed up in that situation, but once it was determined that it was inches, which it was, we just felt like we can make this, and let's go dig in there and make a first down on a quarterback sneak. And so a big part of those 4th and 1 situations is what is the one. Is it a short one? Is it inches? Is it 1.5? Is it almost 2 yards? All those things, and obviously field position, is a factor there. What you've done up to that point in the game is a factor there, and just simply whether or not you believe you can make it. And obviously there's some negative consequences if you don't make it. But again, it was inches, and we felt good about our guys coming off the ball and Dak being able to make it in that situation.
Coach, how are you looking injury-wise? There was some concern over Amari Cooper after the Buffalo game. How are you feeling about Amari's status and any other major ones you're focused on?
Yeah, Amari was able to practice yesterday. We anticipate him practicing today, so feel good about that. The three guys who weren't able to practice yesterday were Antoine Woods, Leighton Van Der Esch, and Jeff Heath, and Michael Bennett wasn't able to do very much yesterday. So we'll take each of those guys' situations day by day as we lead up to the ball game.
Are you feeling like Van Der Esch is more of a long-term thing than the other guys?
Again, we just have to wait and see. It's one of those situations where, so much of it is the feedback from the player and just simply how he's feeling. So we'll get his feedback each and every day. Nobody wants to be out there more than he does. So we'll just take it day by day.
Coach, how are you scheduling, or how are you setting up practice indoor versus outdoors for the Chicago conditions on Thursday night? How are you going to decide whether to go in or out?
Yeah, we're just going to practice outside today on the grass field, and obviously you can't simulate the weather, exactly, but it's a little bit chillier today for this time of year in Dallas, and hopefully that will help our guys. And that's really what we always try to do when we play on the road in different environments. You try your best if you can, simulate the environment. If you can't, you just go with the normal routine.
Coach, before we let you go, in Dak's last couple games, obviously weather in New England, but didn't have a great game against the Bills. Do you feel like he's pressing a little bit or trying to do a little bit too much, or do you give more credit to the defense and how they defended you guys in Dak?
Yeah, Dak's a really good player, and he's had a really good year for us. And, in every game you're going to find some things that you want to get better at, and certainly in the game against Buffalo for everybody on the offensive side of the ball and really throughout our team, we needed to do better things. And I thought Dak made a number of big plays in the game. Unfortunately, we did have a couple turnovers that were a part of it, plays that we'd love to have back. But, he did a lot of good things and a lot of things we can build on going forward.
Coach, have you considered or going to make any internal changes on your staff to shake things up, or everything remaining the same moving forward?
Yeah, again, we're just locked in on today with the guys we have, and we had a good practice yesterday, and we got to go out and have a good one today. And guys, I hate to run, but I got an 8:45 meeting, so I got to sneak that way.
Coach, thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
Hey, have a great week.